Alright, Naruto's a better man than me because if I was him, I would have smoked every single person in that village, no holds barred, the second I got the powers of Nine Tails under wrap. Okay, I know the Pain arc covered it a little bit, but I don't think a lot of people sit down and really truly think about why Naruto is not an evil character, even though he has the justification to be. Like, they were dead-ass kicking his 5-year-old around and leaving him to starve just so he could die one day. Like, that's kind of crazy. Every single person in the village damn near. I think it honestly roots back to Naruto doing that whole little waterfall training where he truly had to sit down and face his evil self that hated the village. He didn't want to admit it, but that shit was definitely there, bro. Like, that hate for all those people that was taking dumps on him. This was a big part of him, like, finally mastering that Nine Tails power also. He had to sit down, look in the mirror, and come to terms with himself and be like, you know what, I do hate them, but you know what, I'm gonna protect these people anyway. And that's the type of resolve that makes Naruto a way deeper character than people try to make him out to be. This man thought about killing everybody. Okay, I can't be the only one still pissed at Goku because he decided to bet the entire world on the fact that Gohan is hella strong, like he's a Pokemon that's about to level up or something. Like, I get Goku's trying to beat all the allegations that he's a bad father by trying to show people he believes in his son and all of that, right? But what is plan B if Gohan gets smoked? Like, it's kind of crazy that he let this happen even with the idea that Future Trunks pulled up and told him that in his timeline, all of them got smoked 2 times over. Like, if a future older Gohan wasn't able to beat the androids, then I wonder what made Goku believe that his Gohan had the potential to really do it all. I mean, kind of wishes for a future where Gohan failed so we could have just seen everybody be like, damn, Goku, what if you didn't give Cell that Sensu beam? Maybe we would have had a better chance. Have you ever wondered what was Kanye West's favorite anime? Well, I'm here to tell you. It's the graphic novel slash manga series slash anime movie known as Akira. Honestly, this fits as one of the most, like, creative and most insanely detailed works in all of fiction of all time. And yes, I do mean that. Ye over the years has outwardly expressed how much he has loved Akira, but he has also shown physically through his own media how much he has loved it by showing his outfit during the Donda experience, which was an all-red leather jacket to match the outfit of one of the main characters of Akira. He also used the music video for Stronger in order to recreate multiple scenes from Akira because he loved it just that much. And in a series of tweets, he reflected upon how Akira may be able to represent in some way the state of the world and how apocalyptic and chaotic it can be on a constant basis. I think it's one of those things that makes you want to go back and look deeper into the whole series of Akira as a whole. Kanye loves Akira. We move. Okay, between Minato and the Flash, whose speed abilities are you taking? Honestly, I'm taking the Flash's Speed Force Light Work. That is a god ability within itself. You become a Flash, you gain a connection to this thing called the Speed Force. In comics, this is the representation of reality and motion being the very cosmic force that pushes space and time forward. But yeah, it would be pretty cool to teleport around with Minato's little kunai and ninjutsu and all of that. You get the Speed Force, you're built different. Flash was able to clear out a city of 500,000 people from a bomb that already went off. I did the math and said if he were to save all of those people, he would have had to have been going at 13 trillion times the speed of light. That makes no sense. Superman was trying to have a conversation with the Flash and he was trying to flex that he had even won one race with the Flash. Flash took a second, looked at him and said, bro, that was for charity and dip. How fast you gotta be to flex on Superman? Sorry, but Minato just doesn't have that. I'm going with the Flash Speed Force abilities all day. Out of all of these characters, who's the biggest menace to society? I'm gonna go with Frieza, but Madara's definitely a close second. First of all, with Frieza, I think a lot of us forget that for a very long time, even before Goku and Vegeta were born, that Frieza and his dad was running the galaxy. Like, the Frieza Force truly does stretch way beyond all of those grunts that got smoked in the Resurrection of F film. You gotta think about it, Frieza was pressing all of these people with his aura with only being in his first form alone. Not to mention, Frieza is one of the only people that has sworn and made sure that he's gotten his get back every single time that somebody tried to do him dirty. Trunks doesn't count, he went back to his own timeline, Golden Frieza slapping the hell out of him. And he spun back on Vegeta and Goku 2 separate times. Last time he did it, he didn't even kill him, he just flexed on him and left. The terrifying thing about Frieza is that death isn't even enough to make him leave you alone. I don't know what his end goal is, he just wants to be an asshole. Frieza is the biggest menace to society. When Sword Art Online started killing people for grinding too much in a video game, I realized it was time for me to go outside and start picking up grass. Sword Art Online is easily one of my top anime, because it took one of the best concepts about being inside video games and it took it all the way there, showing us the goods and the bads of being and living like that. They even followed through about the concept of somebody that you beat so bad in one game following you to each and every game you go to afterwards. Like, those Black Coffin guys still haven't stopped following Kirito around. Like, they should probably give up by now. It's been at least 10 years. years. Also in the game, Kirito was able to eat and get cheeks. This literally makes him one of the only people that can say they lost their virginity by playing video games. Now, the only downside though is that now it's basically real life. You can basically get smoked in real life too. Imagine you're thinking it's a video game and you're trying to save your health potion, so you decide to just respawn instead, but you actually end up in heaven. Or imagine your mom says you've been on the game too long and takes your headset off and now you're just permanently dead, bro. Like, this game is fun, but after about a year or two, chances are most of us aren't surviving. Okay, so this has to be one of the hardest pull-ups in all of anime history. And honestly, I think we need to see way more moments of anime characters willing to kill behind their homies like this, because this was just raw as hell. I was pretty shook seeing how fast they were ready to just end this man's life on a whim like that. Rightfully so. Like, this man deadass embarrassed his brother and was continually torturing him and damn near was finna kill him. All because he hated his younger brother for being weaker than him. But in perfect unison, all of the Black Bulls used all of their powers in sync, and they pulled up, told bro that whatever he thought he was finna do, he was gonna end up having the exact opposite reaction. If my homies don't ride like the Black Bulls, I don't want them. Alright, so out of all the Uchiha clan members, which one is the worst? And if you think I'm gonna say Itachi because he slaughtered each and every single one of his own family members and looked them in the eye while he did it, you're wrong. It's his father instead, aka Fugaku. First of all, let's be straight up. If both of your sons end up being world terrorists, then there's obviously something wrong with you and not just them. First of all, this man low-key set up all of the reasons the Uchiha ended up getting smoked in the first place. One, he started rumblings about wanting to start a revolution. Two, his double agent that he told about that revolution went on to double-cross him when he was supposed to be double-crossing them. No, it's his son and all, but I was Fugaku and I saw Itachi murdering my whole entire family, I probably would have packed up Itachi immediately. This man had a Mangekyo and just didn't use it. Man ignored Sasuke until he got bored of Itachi. I know a lot of the BS that Sasuke got into later on was after Fugaku was dead, but at least we know where it rooted from. Alright, out of all of these Simpson anime, which one is the worst? Okay, if we're talking about anime specifically and anime only, then it easily has to be Obito. Because I know it does get blown out of proportion, but we do have to still really take into account that a large reason that he did start the war was because of Rin getting smoked. Like, if that didn't happen, I feel like bro would have been a lot harder to manipulate, therefore it would have been a lot harder for him to wanna go and destroy the village and wanna go into the crazy psychopath mode that he went into. I feel like a lot of other characters have a lot more justifications as to why they did what they did, but Obito's is mainly partly because of the war and because of the fact that, you know, he never decided to come back after getting injured like he did. Bro got crushed and manipulated. Kind of a sad way to go out, plus she probably wanted Kakashi more than she wanted him anyways. Alright, so out of all of the main firebenders in Avatar, which one was the worst one? I know he's your favorite edgy boy, but let's be honest, y'all, it's Zuko. Like, aside from main character status, one of the main things that Zuko only has going for him is that he's a prince. Make it evident to us over and over that Zuko has not a lot of talent for firebending. He's nowhere near as good as Azula. That by the time we're watching the show, he's damn near just starting to catch up to that level that Azula was at. No Aang's the Avatar and all of that, but for him to just start out firebending, he was low-key putting up feats on Kid Zuko. That kid was kind of mid. And before anybody tries to bring up Mako, the answer to whether or not Zuko gets smashed on by him or not is an answer that's gonna hurt your feelings. Stop now. Alright, y'all, let's talk about that one time Cartoon Network almost fumbled the bag, aka Cartoon Network Real. Okay, so for those of you that don't remember seeing Real, right, it was Cartoon Network's attempt at live action shows. With Cartoon Network, you know, being Cartoon Network, the home of all cartoons, why in the world would they need to start implementing live action shows? It made no sense. Rolled out shows like Destroy, Build, Destroy, Hole in the Wall, Bobby Says, etc. I'm not saying these shows were necessarily bad, right? But when you are a kid, right, you're going to Cartoon Network because you want to watch cartoons. And Cartoon Network at the time was trying to keep up with the success that they were seeing Nickelodeon have with shows like iCarly and all of that, but bro, stick to what y'all know and run it up. As a kid, I started to click off because I wanted to see cartoons and not live action shows from Cartoon Network. But in the end, I think they realized their mistake and canceled all of these shows and got back in their bag with shows like Adventure Time, Regular Show, and Amazing World of Gumball, and you know the rest is history. Okay, so just like everybody else today, right, we've seen that Ash has officially became the OG, the one true Pokemon Master Champion, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just wanting to sit here and wonder, is this the end of Ash's journey? Like, we deadass saw all of his rivals, companions, and all of that, and this was like a big conclusion to everything Ash has been doing for like the last 20 years, deadass. And I can't really think of nothing else that I would really want Ash to do, because, you know, he really has done it all in these last 20 years. So I believe at most I really just want him to either go fight Red and retire forever, or just go disappear and become a legend like the GOAT that he truly has been all along. And please make sure that Ash and Pikachu stay together, bro. Like, that's the most iconic duo, and I just can't see them leaving each other. It just wouldn't happen. Okay, for one, I'm one of those people that honestly do love Ern from Attack on Titan. He's one of the hardest leaders in all of peak fiction. I don't care. We can't sit here and act like he didn't single-handedly drive each and every one of his teammates into straight hell. Like, I get that's kind of the implication of his speech and him inspiring everybody, but we got to think about the fact that he was able to convince 50+ people to be willing to put their own packs up against at least a 50-foot+ Titan. That's some NBA YoungBoy stand-based rhetoric right there, bro. That's kind of insane. Like, it was one of those situations where each and every soldier was dead ass crying, being like, yo, I don't want to do this, I'm not gonna do this, I refuse to absolutely do this. But then Eren started talking. All of a sudden, nobody had any problem with running a horse straight into the pits of hell itself. I will admit, there is no rawer way to die than to be saying, I soldiers rage, I soldiers scream, and especially my soldiers fight. That's raw as hell. Eren is the GOAT for that, I can't even lie. Cyberpunk Edge Runners is an anime. It's basically about making it to the top regardless about however else anybody says that you make it there. And even if you're the bummiest, slimiest, grossest choom in Night City, you can still make it to the very top of Arasaka Tower. Alright, I'm a pizza with cloud goggles, and here's a bunch of Avatar facts you probably don't know. Alright, for the first fact, did y'all know that Toph was supposed to be a man this entire time? They need to give at least a milli to the dude that came up with the idea of Toph being a girl, because half the stuff that she does right now would not be as cool if she was a man, I'm telling you. Next, there was 181 avatars before Aang, which means at least 180 before Roku, so that was a lot of people to be mad as hell at Roku after he sold and let all the airbenders get smoked like that. 3, the show was originally set in the future, so instead of like them all being rural and basically having no technology, we would have had the benders of the world instead tweeting about how bad the water benders are getting messed up on a daily basis. And for those of you wondering what happened to Zuko's mom, just know that she basically got brainwashed and ended up basically having a whole new other family. She didn't die, she just basically ended up getting banished away. Hope with these Avatar facts I've helped to end a couple of the cliffhangers that you had growing up. We move. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is high-key emotional as hell. I will admit, a lot of dialogue. But when Namor's on the screen and the action kicks in, he lets us know why he was chosen as the villain of this movie. This man hit a Tolokan Euro step, pulled up, killed the queen, and deadass said, bury your dead, mourn your losses in their faces, and then just walked off and nothing happened to him. That's so raw. He did become Black Panther and spun back though. It was definitely an emotional journey getting there. Black Panther and Namor definitely have the most potential in the MCU going right now. They're raw as hell. RP to King T'Challa and the GOAT Chadwick Boseman. We move.